The standoff between former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, is sparking reactions across the nation. On Wednesday, Bello's media team claims that he honored the agency's invitation, but the EFCC swiftly countered that claim, stating that the former Kogi State Governor is still a wanted man in connection with an alleged 80.2 billion naira laundering case. For more insight on this particular development, we're joined by Muhammed Onogwu, who is a former Chief Press Secretary to the former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. He's joined us live from Kogi State this evening. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining the conversation. It's good to have you.
Good evening. It's nice to be with you at this moment.
Right. Explain this confusion, controversy, and scandal to our viewers. The EFCC says this whole theatrics is not impressing anyone, and it's not deceiving the agency, because they say that your principal is trying to mislead the public through that statement released yesterday. What is your version of what happened on Wednesday, September 18?
Thank you very much. Before I go into the details of the discussion, I will first of all want to commend and thank the Nigerian people for, coming out to stand with the truth as regards to what happened yesterday, Wednesday, and to also sympathize with the former governor of Kogi State, who had served the state diligently for the period of 8 years. And again, the event of yesterday also bring to the notice of all Nigerians the whole issues that is surrounding the EFCC and Yahaya Bello debacle. Just like you said, yesterday being Wednesday, the former governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello, walked into the premises of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission on their invitation. The governor left his home at about 9:40 a.m. and he arrived at the premises of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission at exactly 9:55. He was there for over 4 hours, and he interacted with some of the officials of the agency, and he was later told that he should go back. In fact, the EFCC chairman, who was aware of his presence, ordered his chief of staff, Mr. Mike, to tell the governor, the current governor, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Odudo, who accompanied the former governor to the office of the EFCC, to go back, that when he is needed, he will be called upon to, come back. The governor at that information went back, and only for them to be informed at about 10 p.m. in the night that where are they? They asked for their whereabouts, and they told them their whereabouts. And the same Mike, whom was a that wherever Yahaya Bello is found, he should be brought to them. He is the same person who you have told the various agencies in Nigeria, including the Nigeria Immigration Service, that wherever Yahaya Bello is found on the surface of the earth, he should be brought to them. And this same man, Suomoto, on his own, went to submit himself to you. You ask him to leave, and not even up to 10 hours after that, in a Gestapo fashion, coming to the Kogi State Liaison Office is an extension of Kogi State Government House that needed to be protected, that needed to be respected, that needed to be served with all dignity and respect a constitutionally and democratically elected government deserve from any agency in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, they came to arrest the former governor, and the former governor was not even within the premises at that time. You understand? So what they have done yesterday, it does not only express the ineptitude, the inefficiency of the anti-graft agency, but it has brought monumental disgrace to the name Nigeria as a country.
Right.
It is quite unfortunate that anti-graft agency should act in the way they did yesterday. Everyone in Nigeria who witnessed what happened at their office yesterday and at the Kogi State Government Lodge in Asokoro, Abuja yesterday, spoke about what the anti-corruption agency failed to have done. They displayed the level of incompetence, the level of embarrassment that no agency of this country has ever perpetrated. The brain behind the formation of EFCC in 2004 was a very novel one.
Just a moment, Mr. Onogwu, if I can just chip in, if I can just chip in with this question, why? I'm not sure, Mr. Mohammed, if you can hear me. The question is, why was the governor...
Yes, I can hear you.
...former governor? Because it is quite obvious that he's there as a shield should the former governor be arrested. And when the EFCC decided to go after him, why didn't he make himself available for arrest?
Let me first of all say that an unwilling and an uninterested farmer will always blame his tool, his working tools, his cutlass or hose. In this same country, about a few years ago, a former governor who was invited by the EFCC was accompanied to the EFCC premises with some sitting governors in his company, and even some of them are even serving minister of the current administration today. They accompanied the former governor who was invited by the EFCC to the premises of the EFCC. Yes, the governor has immunity that he cannot be invited, the city governor, by the provision of Section 308 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You cannot even invite the city governor for questioning. They have immunity clause. That is understandable. But being a company of the former governor does not prevent the anti-graft agency from arresting the former governor, from detaining the former governor in their premises. Yeah, but if you have somebody who is competent, if you have somebody who knows what he is appointed to do, what you would have simply done, excuse me, what you would have simply done is to say, oh, look, Your Excellency, thank you, we are happy, it's good to see you here, but this is the person we are asking for his presence. Please, we will have some time to interrogate your predecessor. You may take your leave because we don't know when this the period of time it might take. You understand? The presence of the former governor, of the present governor there is not an excuse to prevent them from, questioning or interrogating the former governor who they have advertised across the world that he submit himself, and the governor willingly brought himself to their premises yesterday. So what they did yesterday is an exhibition of ineptitude, is an exhibition of inefficiency, is an exhibition of incompetence that the whole Nigeria rose up yesterday to condemn. We are in a democratic society. You cannot just invade the government institution like the government law the way they did yesterday. We are in a democratic system. Right. It is not only an aberration, it is not only an insult to the people of Kogi State, it is an insult to the federal government of Nigeria. And we are calling on the government at all levels to ensure that the EFCC acts according to the dictates of the acts that established the EFCC.
What, Mr. Mohammed, is the reason why former Governor Yahaya Bello decided to show up after 5 months? I mean, this has been dragging. He's refused to show up in court. He has refused to honor their invitation, even when he was put on the wanted list. Why now?
First of all, before I give a detailed explanation about that, there was no date for him to appear. But the matter is in court, and they're speaking about the matter that is in court already, before the competent court of jurisdiction already, will amount to a kind of prejudice on my own side. But let me just roll back a little.
I'm not asking you to.
On the 13th of June, the former governor was billed to appear in court. Yeah. When the former governor was billed to appear in court, he was dressed and moved closer to the court, only for him to be told on his way that the defendants were not in court, and the matter was already been adjourned to 17th of July last 2 months. Then on that 17th of July, the former governor was under the weather, and it was communicated to the court. Now he's okay, and he brought himself to the authority that was looking for him. Whether he evaded arrest or disregard summons. That is by the way. But the same person you are looking for all over the world brought himself without even you looking for him. I say, here I am for your interrogation. You understand? As a competent agency that is not after persecution, because what we thought was happening was the persecution of the former governor of Kogi State. But by the action that was demonstrated yesterday, the anti-graft agency and their sponsors have moved beyond persecution to look for the way of harming the former governor of Kogi State, who has served the people of the state for 8 years. What it means yesterday is that, for example, if the former governor was there, he could have been shot and killed. And what would they say? That he was trying to evade arrest. That he was trying to evade lawful arrest. So these are the things the EFCC have done that they must be called to order. Secondly, they were empowered.
Extrajudicial killing.
EFCC is empowered. Excuse me. Can I make? Yes. Can I make 1 point? Can I make 1 point before you interject?
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that you're making unsubstantiated claims that he would have been shot for some reason, and we're saying that there's never been evidence that the EFCC is trying to carry out extrajudicial acts on former Governor Yahaya Bello.
Let me be frank with you. There is no better way to describe what happened yesterday than what I have just said. Because if you are looking for me and I submitted myself to you in your office, you asked me to go back to my house, that you call upon me when you are ready to interrogate me, only for you to come with over 20 armed men with guns to evade the premises and say you want to arrest the same person who will fully suo moto turn himself to you earlier on the same day. How do you want the world to interpret this? You see, when this issue began, the sinister motive behind it was seen. And by the law, EFCC has the power to arrest, to detain any person, any suspect, or any person that's suspected to have committed a crime. They have that power. But that power is not left at large. The power of the EFCC to arrest and detain suspects, it is not left at large. It is not the power that has no limits. And in exercising that power, they should also consider the provisions of our constitution. For example, Section 33, Section 35, that says that every citizen of this country must be respected. The dignity of every citizen of this country must be respected. You understand? And as this matter was going on, going by Section 46 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the former state governor, Yahaya Bello, have found that his life is being under threat. His life is about to be infringed upon. His life is about to be threatened. He went to court, a high court in Kogi State, to obtain an order restraining these people from coming after his life. Apart from the provision of this constitution, that particular provision was also reinforced by Order 2, Rule 1 of the Fundamental Right Enforcement Civil Procedure Rule 2009. That when somebody is feeling that his right is being about to be infringed upon, his right is being about to be a kind of vitiated, he has the right to go to court and seek for protection. Right. The former governor has went to court. He seeks for the same protection that the same court is given to other people who it is their right, legitimate right to ask for, deny the former governor. So what we are saying here is that the era where we must tell the truth, that if the EFCC is established to perform its duty, the acts that establish EFCC must be thoroughly studied by those who are coming to exercise that power of the EFCC. Okay. You can't put somebody who, for example, is supposed to be the chairman of the Pilgrim Welfare Board to head an agency where important issues like investigation of crimes and other things will be discussed. You can't have anything better than what we are seeing today.
Yeah, let me chime in, Mr. Mohammed. We have a couple of minutes to spare, so I'm just going to ask two questions that I will need you to respond to very briefly before we run out of time. Where has the former governor been? If you can share with us that information, because Nigerians thought he was out of the country. If you can share with us where the former governor has been, I don't want to use the word hiding for the past 5 months, but also you started the conversation talking about public opinion, and it is the public opinion that former Governor Yahaya Bello is acting like a man running from the law because he knows he's probably guilty of the allegations leveled against him. What is his next move, if you can share with Nigerians watching the conversation right now? Does he plan to return to the EFCC and answer those questions in the investigation into that 80 billion naira alleged money laundering?
Just like I said earlier, the matter that has to do with the former Governor Yahaya Bello and the EFCC is before the courts. And it will be prejudicial for anybody to make a comprehensive statement or comment about the matter that is already in court. But to say, or to go further to say that what happened yesterday was not only embarrassing, but for the people of Kogi State, we felt very bad, and just like any other Nigerians, because in the history of Kogi State, we have had 5 governors that have ruled the state, including the incumbent governor. You could recall in 2009, where the former governor, that was adjudged to be the best governor of the state since its creation, His Excellency late Prince Abubakar Audu, was also witch-hunted until his death by the same EFCC. This is the man, if you go to Kogi State today, you could see his record of achievement still standing, even after he left office in 2003, thereabout. Now, if you come to the current administration, the administration of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello, while he was governor for 8 years, the people of Kogi State, you yourself, wherever you are in Nigeria today, you are aware of the security situation in Kogi State before his emergence, and you are also aware what he has done to turn the place to a peaceful state where people can come and invest today. In terms of infrastructure, what the former governor of Kogi State has done in the state, they are there for it. They speak for themselves. This was a state that was only having just one university before 2016, when Yahaya Bello was elected as governor. But before he left office, he was able to establish additional 2 state-owned universities that are fully in operation today. So there are other indices that you can look at. And what we are saying is that our own leaders must be treated with respect. They must be treated with decorum. They must be accorded with all kinds of respect that is due for any former governor of the state.
Okay, all right.
So our state should no longer be used as a guinea pig for political demonstration. Okay. What we are saying is that if the EFCC had a case with him, they have filed a case before the court, and it is a matter of law that once you have been indicted for any crime at all, once you have a legal representative on that matter, they can continue with the matter.
Okay.
It's a matter of law that once you have a legal representation, they can continue with the matter.
Yeah, we are completely out of time, Mr. Mohammed, but I was hoping you would answer the question about where the governor was before now, but it's obvious that we don't have time for you to respond to that. Or do you want to tell Nigerians where the governor was and whether he intends to return to EFCC? Very briefly, because we're completely out.
The governor has... just like I said, the governor has been around. He has been where he lives. You understand? It's just that the anti-graft agency have taken themselves to be a social media anti-graft agency where they do all what they want to do, but they are not even effective and they are not determined to do what they are supposed to do in appropriate time. But what we are saying is that I have to commend the people of Nigeria for taking time and for understanding the issues between the former governor of Kogi State and anti-graft agency, and they are able to draw conclusion that the former governor is not about to be prosecuted. It's no longer about to be persecuted. The agency...
Apologies, but that is all the time we have for this conversation on today's edition of the program. Thank you most kindly for joining us, if you can still hear me, the former Chief Press Secretary to former Governor Yahaya Bello, giving us his thoughts there regarding the saga between the EFCC and the former Kogi State Governor over that alleged 80.2 billion naira money laundering charge by the EFCC. That is our show for you tonight. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Daily Politics will return tomorrow live at 8 p.m. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Good evening.